Good evening, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us here on KXAN Live. On this election night, I'm Will DuPree, coming to you from the KXAN Live studio. We do have some results starting to come in as early vote totals are counted here in Austin and all across the state. We're tracking a number of local propositions as well as statewide constitutional amendments. We're going to get to all of that here shortly, but I do want to introduce you to just some members of our team who are joining me this evening. We have KXAN digital reporter Kelsey Thompson here in the studio with me, as well as KXAN's politics reporter Daniel Marin. He is joining us from our live unit. He's going in between some of the locations where watch parties and election results viewings are happening all across the city. But I do want to update everybody who's just joining us on some of the results that we just have gotten in. So the early vote total on Proposition A here on Austin, if you want to take a look at the results, the early vote total shows that 33% have voted in favor of it, while 67% have voted against it. This, again, is the proposition that deals with police staffing and a number of other issues related to local law enforcement, pushed by a group called Save Austin Now. We also want to call a race here at KXAN. We are calling Austin Proposition B. It is in favor of passing, and I want to show you really quickly our results. So this is from our website, kxan.com/election-results. Right here, Austin Prop B. The early vote total shows that 73% of voters have voted in favor of this proposition. Only 26% have voted against it. Because of that wide margin, we're going ahead and calling the race for this particular initiative. Austin Prop B is passing. If you're unfamiliar with what that is exactly, let me show you really quickly. Under this proposition, the city can now trade 9 acres of parkland on South Lakeshore Boulevard and exchange it for 48 acres of waterfront land in a new maintenance facility that's either paid for or built by a new bidder. It is likely that Oracle is that bidder because the property in question is right next to its facility there in South Austin. Turning back now, since we're calling that race for Prop B, we really want to zone in on Proposition A. So I'm going to bring back in KXAN's Daniel Marin there as we bring him into this conversation. Daniel, I know you're on the road at the moment. Tell us where you're going and kind of what you are seeing out there as you've been out and about.
So we've been out and about at different polling locations, just kind of checking the lines throughout the afternoon. Didn't see anything too crazy, but definitely did see some people waiting in line to get their chance to vote. Right now we are currently headed to the watch party, the campaign party for Save Austin Now. That is the group behind Prop A. But again, as you mentioned, Will, right now things not looking too good for that proposition.
Earlier, Daniel, I know that you spoke to Matt Makowiak with Save Austin Now, that group that has pushed Proposition A. What did he tell you about how he's feeling about how today might go?
Well, he was pretty optimistic, but he didn't really. No, he seemed pretty optimistic, I would say, but he was anticipating that it could go this way, as I guess the way I should put it. He said that if they were to lose, they would obviously have to reassess the results, kind of see where they are. But one thing he did say, though, was definitely that Save Austin Now is not going anywhere at this point. And as we all know, this is a group that has kind of gained a lot of political capital here in Austin in a pretty short amount of time. They, of course, are the same group that passed the reinstatement of the camping ban and the homeless camping ban. So they had that done. They got that done, accomplished in May. And then they moved on quickly over to Prop A. They built up that whole campaign a lot. And again, it's looking like that might not pass according to the early voting results. But he says at this point, Save Austin Now is not going anywhere. He says they are looking toward the future, toward other elections. He says they have 3 things that they are looking toward. They're trying to decide which one they're going to tackle next for the next election cycle. He said one of them would be transportation around the city. He said another one they could target affordable housing. Basically, he was saying that there's too much red tape at City Hall, he believes, when it comes to permitting to build houses. So something that would likely be a little bit more business friendly to developers and to home builders. And the third thing he mentioned, too, would be taking a closer look at the city's budgeting process. So those are some of the things that they're looking toward the future. They're also not ruling out getting into some of the political races, some congressional races coming down the line. And they could also probably dip their feet into the mayoral race. Of course, they are very much against Steve Adler, try to maybe get him out and use their political muscle to maybe get that done.
All right. Well, Daniel, again, checking in with Save Austin Now, the group pushing for Prop A to pass. You had a chance to speak to people who were campaigning against this initiative as well. What did they have to say today?
Yeah, I spoke with the, over the weekend, I spoke with the local election, the Democratic Party. I spoke with the chair of the Travis County elections, Travis County Democratic Party, I should say. And she told me she also didn't really know which way this election was going to go, which way it was going to go when it came to Proposition A. She thought it could go either way, honestly. But she said one thing, she said that she wanted to make it very clear that even though Matt Makovic, the head of Save Austin Now, has maintained all along that this is a nonpartisan issue, that along with the camping ban, the Proposition A, which of course would increase police funding and increase the ratio of 2 officers per 1,000 residents, he says that that's a nonpartisan issue, that it's more of a safety issue. The Democratic Party views it a very different way. They say that this is very much politically driven by the right, very a conservative movement. They say just look at the backing of Governor Abbott, who publicly came out in support of Proposition A. They say that tells you all you need to know. They also pointed to the fact that this was held in kind of an off-year election cycle. So it's not part of the midterms, not part of one of the presidential campaigns. So the Democrats were saying, look, if Save Austin Now really wanted to put something before the Austin voters, really wanted to get their opinion and the pulse of what the city is really thinking, what the city really wants, then they would have put this into a bigger election cycle rather than just, in their words, kind of hide it, tuck it away in a smaller election where only 18 to 20% turnout is expected. So that's what they were kind of pointing toward.
And Daniel, you're going to be going to what was billed as an election night party from Save Austin Now. Is that where you're going to be headed now?
Yes, we're going to be heading out here shortly. We're just grabbing some gas here over in the Muller area off of 51st, and we're headed that way toward downtown.
All right. Well, again, Daniel Marin there, our KXAN politics reporter, covering his very first election here for us on KXAN. So we appreciate your expertise with that. I do want to bring in our digital reporter, Kelsey Thompson. She is here in the KXAN live studio with me. And Kelsey, I just want to ask you in particular about this Prop A proposition for the city of Austin. What was really discussed was about how to meet this need for additional staffing for the police department. But you all, or at least you heard from the Public Safety Commission standpoint, an update on the staffing numbers for the police department. So if you can, go ahead and share what you learned at that particular thing.
Yeah, that's right, Will. We heard from APD Police Chief Joseph Chacon at last night's Public Safety Commission meeting, and he gave a breakdown of the current status of APD staffing levels versus their authorized numbers, as well as what's in store for 2022's upcoming Police Academy programs. Currently, the Austin Police Department has billed 1,809 officer positions, and there are 191 vacancies, leaving only 1,608 positions filled. That he attributed to a variety of factors, including retirement, resignations, and people moving up in the ranks, which would leave opens in the officer levels. When it comes to upcoming police academies in 2022, Chief Chacon proposed 2 different scenarios for the upcoming year. One would include 3 academy programs, including 2 regular 8.5-month programs with 1 modified one. When it comes to the modified programs, that's when they pull peace officers from neighboring agencies or agencies throughout Texas who have experience as a trained officer, and that helps them cut down on the total amount of training time needed, which means they're able to turn those officers around in a much shorter period of time. The second option that Chacon discussed would be 3 regular 8.5-month programs, as well as 1 modified academy. That, though, he said would be a much more challenging endeavor because it requires a lot more training resources and funding to host that many academies in 1 year. So he was a bit more optimistic about that first option with 2 regular academies and 1 modified.
All right. Well, that is the latest information from Austin Police, sharing it with one of the city commissions, talking about this very issue that we're really focused focusing on tonight with this election. If you're just joining us, I just want to reset some things so you all know what you're tuning into at the moment. I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN live studio. Kelsey Thompson, our digital reporter here at KXAN, is joining me in the studio at the moment, and we do have some results coming in with early voting totals at this time. If you look at right here, this is for Proposition A here in Austin. The early vote total shows that 67% of voters have opposed this particular initiative. Only about 33% of voters have said they would like for this to pass. Now, if you're wondering what Proposition A is exactly, we have covered this extensively, but we want to catch you up about what this exactly says. Again, if you take a look here, Proposition A, if it would have passed, if it does pass, we should say we have not called this particular race just yet because there are totals still coming in today. If this proposition passes, it would set a staffing minimum of 2 officers per 1,000 people. It would also raise yearly training requirements and increase minority hiring at the police department. It would also require additional community policing during an officer's shift. And then finally there, the city has estimated that the cost to implement this, if it does pass, would be between $270 million and about $600 million. A lot of people who were opponents of this measure said that they opposed it because of the potential of having to cut costs in other departments to meet this particular initiative. So again, the results coming in so far, 67% have said they're against it. Only about 33 are saying they're for. These are the early vote totals. We still have lots more numbers coming in from today after people voted. Just wanted to catch you up as well that Proposition B here in Austin, which is a park, which is a land exchange between the city of Austin, is we have called that race to pass now. So if you take a look at the results here, let me just pull that up really quickly. Sorry about that, everybody. Here we go. This proposition has passed. So 74% of the early vote says they are voting in favor of this proposition. Only about 26% voting against it. And we spelled out the specifics of this initiative a minute ago, but Proposition B, if it would have passed here in Austin, would have traded 9 acres of parkland on South Lakeshore Boulevard there in South Austin and exchanged it for 48 acres of waterfront land and a new maintenance facility paid for or built by a new bidder. It is likely that bidder is Oracle because that 9 acres of parkland there on Lakeshore sits right adjacent to that giant Oracle facility there in South Austin. So again, what we have coming from you there is Prop B here in Austin has passed. We are calling that race at this very moment. We're also just scrolling up here on our website. So again, you can find the latest election results right here on our website. It's right on our homepage. You can click in and we are tracking all the different races. And one of the big things that we're also looking at is these propositions that are constitutional amendments to the state constitution here in Texas. And there are 8 of them in this particular election. Everybody in the state voted on these. These are not local things. So a lot of people are weighing in on this. A lot more vote is coming in with these particular propositions. But here's where things stand at this moment. So Texas Proposition 1, which relates to charitable raffles at rodeo venues. At this moment, about 84% of the vote that has been counted right now is in favor, and only about 15% is against. As we scroll down the list, Texas Proposition 2, which focuses on county infrastructure funding, it is on track to pass at this time. Again, many more votes to be counted here as well. Proposition 3, which is an initiative that kind of came out of the pandemic. It would prohibit limitations on religious services, and that one is on track at the moment to pass with 57% voting in favor, only about 42 against. As we scroll down even more, voters were also voting on eligibility for certain judges' positions here in the state, and that is on track to pass at this time. Additionally, Proposition 5, which looks into investigations of judicial candidates, is looking like it might pass as well right now. Texas Proposition 6, which again is another initiative that came out of the pandemic, which gives us a right to designate an essential caregiver. Pretty big margin there, 86% saying they're voting in favor of it, only about 13 against. Going down a little bit further, these are some of the tax exemption propositions that people are voting on across the state. Prop 7 looks like it's set to pass at this time. Prop 8 as well. I'll leave those up for you all just so you can see those vote totals. I also want to bring back in our digital reporter, Kelsey Thompson, who's been sitting here patiently while I've been going through those numbers there with the state constitutional amendment propositions. But Kelsey, fill everybody in on kind of what you're looking at tonight. What will be your main focus?
Yeah, so tonight, Will, we're really diving into Proposition A, which concerns public safety and police staffing levels as well as funding. Currently, as you just showed on the screen, Proposition A is leading with 67% of early votes cast against the proposition, with 33% in favor. That one of the core focuses of that proposition is the minimum of 2 officers per 1,000 residents threshold. But regardless of whether Prop A passes or does not tonight, Austin Police Department officials are saying that they already have measures in place for next year's Cadet Academy classes. During Monday evening's Public Safety Commission, APD Chief Joseph Chacon outlined 2 different scenarios for trying to bolster the number of officers that APD brings onto the force next year. One option would include up to 3 full cadet classes with 1 modified. As I defined earlier, modified classes are those where APD would pull peace officers from other law enforcement agencies who have experience on the force, and that would require much less time for them to undergo training before they can officially join the ranks. The other option would be 2 full cadet classes as well as 1 modified. Currently, right now, APD has 191 vacancies in their police force. The department is authorized for 1,809 positions, and they currently have 1,608 of them filled.
All right, again, that is our digital reporter here at KXAN, Kelsey Thompson, who is kind enough to sit around for a little bit as we share some results with you all coming in from tonight's election. Again, polls closed about 45 minutes ago all across the state. If you had been in line right at 7, you would still get a chance to vote. So hopefully if anybody was facing a line, there's got through and made it through to cast their ballot as we continue to get those numbers rolling in. What we've been showing you a lot right now is just some of the early voting numbers that have come in. As Kelsey was showing you a minute ago, right now, Austin's Proposition A, which deals with police staffing and other issues with law enforcement here in the community, is the vote totals right here on your screen. 67% of voters have said they are against it, while 33% had voted in favor. This is just the early voting total here in Austin, so we'll see what those numbers change at some point. We'll share that update with you as soon as we can. For Proposition B, KXAN has called this race in favor of this proposition for it to pass. As their early vote shows there, 74% voted in favor, while 26% voted against it. I want to let you all know, just a moment ago we did share the latest results that we're tracking over on our website, KXAN.com. Just going to highlight that page one more time for all of you who might be watching at home. You can go on your phone, on your computer, on whatever device you might have and find these election results. As we get those numbers updated, we're putting them on this site right here. Simply put, election results. And we are tracking not only the statewide constitutional amendments, the local propositions here in Austin, as well as several communities all across Central Texas, including bond proposals for different school districts in our area, namely Georgetown as having one, as well as Leander and some others around the area. So if you'd like to find out where those vote totals are, please check them out over on our website, because we have all your election headquarter details available right there in the palm of your hand or on your phone, or again, wherever you might pull it up. Kelsey, I was wondering if you had anything to add before we wrap up our first digital update for everybody who's watching at home, if there's any points you'd like to make before we go.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to stress that all the results currently are based on early voting. KXAN, we here did call Proposition B, but in terms of Proposition A, which we know is by and large the most contentious and followed vote of the evening, these are all preliminary early voting results, so we'll be providing updates regularly on KXAN.com, and we have individual stories dedicated to some of those major propositions, so be sure to check it out and keep following us back for updates.
Yeah, we will be here all throughout the night with other updates, so please stick with us, as Kelsey mentioned, but we appreciate you joining us for this particular stream. Just wanted to highlight again those results. We've shown them several times in the last few minutes, but Austin's contentious Proposition A there, the early vote total shows that 67% had voted against, while 33% had voted in favor. When it comes to Proposition B here in Austin, we have called this race now, and it has passed according to our count. Just wanted to provide those updates before we let you go. All right, everybody. Once again, you can head over to our website, KXAN.com, and also keep your phone handy because you can sign up for push alerts, and we're going to send out those results as soon as we get them right there on your smartphone, so you can open it up and read the stories there. Once again, I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN live studio. Thank you all for sticking around for this first update. We'll be back throughout the evening with other information and updates, so please stay with us. Once again, Will DuPree here in the KXAN live studio. We'll see you back here another time. Hope you all stay safe and healthy out there. Take care.